Hey you! Did you know any of these curious facts? 1. The tallest man ever recorded was American giant Robert Wadlow with 2 meters 72. Both Robert and his twin brother were born on the 22nd of February 1918 to two regular-sized parents, but he rapidly started to shoot up, reaching an incredible 1 meter 63 by the age of 5, by which time he was already wearing clothes intended for teenagers. Robert passed the 2 meter 45 mark by the age of 17, making him the tallest teenager ever. Doctors examined Robert and realized that his exceptional size was caused by hyperplasia of his pituitary gland. This condition causes an abnormally high level of the human growth hormone, and Robert was never given any treatment to stop it. 2. The tallest living man is 41-year-old Sultan Kösen from Turkey, measuring a staggering 2 meters 51. As American giant Wadlow, also Kösen suffered from a pituitary issue. Starting in 2010, Kösen received gamma knife treatment for his pituitary tumor at the University of Virginia Medical School and was provided with medication to control his excessive levels of growth hormone. It was confirmed in March 2012 that the treatment was effective in halting Kösen's growth. 3. Packaged and sliced bread was introduced in 1928. Otto Frederick Rohvetter was an American inventor and engineer who created the first automatic bread slicing machine for commercial use. He had built a prototype in 1912, but sadly it was destroyed in a fire. It took him 16 years to rebuild and have a fully working machine ready. The first commercial use of the machine was by the Chillicothe Baking Company and proved to be a huge success. 4. The sandwich was invented by a gambler. In 1762, John Montague invented the meal that changed dining forever. As the story goes, he was playing cards and did not want to leave the gaming table to eat. So he asked for a serving of roast beef to be placed between 2 slices of bread so he could eat with his hands. 5. Polar bears aren't white. In fact, a polar bear's white fur is only an optical illusion so that they can camouflage into their environment. The polar bear's coat only appears to be white because it reflects visible light. The fur doesn't contain any white pigment, and its hairs are actually translucent. 6. The green code in The Matrix was actually created from a cookbook. The first of the Matrix films came out nearly 20 years ago, but it's only now that we've learned the source of the iconic falling green code that trickles down the screen. The production designer, Simon Whiteley, who created the title sequence for the movie, has revealed the source was his wife's Japanese cookbook. Whiteley scanned the cookbooks, then reversed and mixed up the characters to create the cascading code out of sushi recipes. 7. Hawaiian pizza wasn't created in Hawaii. Italians take their pizza very seriously, particularly in Naples, where the local pizza received traditional specialty guaranteed status in 2009, protecting the original pizza-based recipe and its production methods against misuse or falsification. But the Hawaiian pizza, topped with ham and pineapple, was not an Italian invention, and despite the name, it did not come from the U.S. island state either. The pizza was actually created in Canada in 1962 by a Greek immigrant called Sam Panopoulos. Inspired by a recent trip to Naples, Panopoulos was a restaurant owner and decided to introduce pizza to the menu, adding pineapple, as Hawaii had officially become an American state in 1959, and people had fallen in love with the island lifestyle. As for the name, the brand of tinned pineapple was called Hawaiian, so Panopoulos' invention was named in its honor. 8. The Kit Kat filling is actually made of Kit Kat. That creamy filling between the crispy wafers of the classic chocolate bar isn't just plain chocolate. There's definitely some chocolate in there, but a BBC documentary revealed that the inside layers of the bar are actually made of ground-up Kit Kats, or reworked Kit Kats, that are damaged during production, cocoa liquor, and sugar. 9. Jam and jelly are two different products. Although both are made with fruits, jelly is a type of food made by cooking fruit juice with sugar until it resembles a soft, elastic spread, whereas jam is a type of food made by cooking mashed, crushed, or chopped fruit with sugar until it resembles a loose spread. They are very similar to each other, making the main different seeds or pieces of fruit in it. 10. Flamin Hot Cheetos were developed by a janitor at Frito-Lay. The creator Richard Montañez, born in California to Mexican immigrant parents, often picked up odd jobs to support his family, doing everything from slaughtering chickens to washing cars. In 1976, at the age of 18, he was hired as a Frito-Lay plant janitor in Southern California. According to Montañez, the idea for Flamin Hot Cheetos came to him when a broken assembly machine put out a plain batch of Cheetos without the usual cheddar cheese dust. He then took the batch home and experimented with familiar flavors, eventually adding chili powder inspired by the street vendors in his neighborhood. After the amazing discovery, he quickly called Frito-Lay CEO Roger Enrico in 1991 about his new chili-flavored Cheeto, and for the next 2 weeks, he worked on a pitch to present to the other executives. 11. Coca-Cola actually sells soup in a can. In 2020, Coca-Cola collaborated with the Japanese food manufacturer Kikkoman to offer the traditional dashi soup in a can format, to cater to consumers seeking convenient and minimally human-handled packaged products in the uncertain times of the coronavirus pandemic. According to the brand, the company targeted older generations who are health-conscious, seek natural flavors, and are concerned about their sodium intake. 12. The world's largest pizza was made in 2023. The Pizza Hut chain teamed up with YouTube star Eric to make a 14,000 square feet pie. Guinness named it the world's largest pizza. It was made with over 13,000 pounds of dough, almost 5,000 pounds of pizza sauce, nearly 9,000 pounds of cheese, and more than 600,000 pieces of pepperoni. Guinness World Records was on hand to officially declare the pie the world's largest. It beat the previous Guinness record, set in 2012 by a group of chefs in Italy. 13. Lincoln Logs were based on the architecture of the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo. They are named after U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, who once lived in a log cabin. They were invented around 1916 by John Lloyd Wright, the second son of well-known architect Frank Lloyd Wright, while they were working in Japan. The foundation of the hotel was designed with interlocking log beams, which made the structure earthquake-proof and one of the few buildings to remain standing after the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake that crumbled Tokyo. 14. Play-Doh originally had a different purpose. It has been a classic children's toy for so many generations that it's hard to imagine it was invented to be anything other than fun. But it turns out it was invented as wallpaper cleaner. Back in the late 1920s, a man named Cleo McVicker convinced the parent company of Koodle, a failing Cincinnati soap company, to let him and his brother Noah McVicker try and turn the brand around. When they learned that executives at Kroger grocery stores were looking for a new wallpaper cleaning product to help people remove the soot their coal-burning furnaces left on their walls, the McVicker brothers invented an early version of the now famous kids' toy. But instead of shaping it into fun designs, adults used the off-white dough to roll across their dirty walls to collect soot. 15. The world's oldest hotel is 1,319 years old. Founded in 705 by Fujiwara Mahito, son of an aide to the 38th Emperor of Japan, it is a prime example of long-established business. Until 2017, it was continuously operated by 52 generations of the same family. But in 2017, no family members were willing to take over the business, so Kenjiro Kawano was selected as the new president. You can still stay at the world's oldest hotel, in one of its 37 rooms, dine in its kaiseki restaurant, and enjoy the night sky on the moon viewing platform. As of 2019, all rooms and facilities of the hotel have password-free Wi-Fi. Tatami mats and classic art furnish the rooms. 16. The country with the most islands in the world is Sweden, consisting of about 267,570 islands, the majority of which are uninhabited. Even the capital of Stockholm is built across a 14-island archipelago with more than 50 bridges connecting them. 17. There's a world record for the holder of the most world records. Keith Furman was born in 1954 in Brooklyn. He was fascinated with the Guinness Book of World Records as a child, but never thought he could ever break a record since he was very unathletic. As a teenager, he became interested in spirituality, and in 1970 became a devout follower of the spiritual leader, Sri Chinmoy, who inspired him to participate in a 24-hour bicycle race in Central Park in 1978. Around this time, he changed his first name to Ashrita, which translates to protected by God in Sanskrit. In 1979, he began his world records saga, setting more than 700 official Guinness records and currently holding more than 200 standing records, including the official record for the most records held at the same time by an individual. 18. Sunsets only exist because of Earth's atmosphere. When the sun is close to the horizon, the light must travel through more of the atmosphere than it does when the sun is overhead. Acting like a prism for light, in scientific terms, it's called scattering. Molecules and particles in the atmosphere scatter short wavelength violet and blue light away from your eyes so we can see the other colors on the spectrum, like yellow, orange, and red, which creates colorful sunrise and sunset skies. 19. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. People always wonder why Mona Lisa doesn't have any eyebrows. This mystery has been solved, all thanks to an engineer named Pascal Cotte. When Da Vinci had painted Mona Lisa, he indeed painted her eyebrows, but over time, these eyebrows were eroded due to cleaning over time to the point where it's no longer visible today. 20. Camels have 3 eyelids to protect themselves from the blowing desert sand. Camels have different ways to adapt to their environment. They have a third clear eyelid that is a translucent layer that acts as a nictitating membrane, covering the eye completely, but still allowing them to see as they navigate the harsh conditions and sandstorms of the desert. Also, 2 rows of long lashes protect their eyes. And there you have it, folks. From the towering heights of Robert Wadlow to the eye-blinking truths about camels, we've traveled across centuries and continents to uncover these mind-blowing facts. Who knew the tallest man ever would outgrow teenagers by age 5? Or that your beloved Kit Kat is essentially cannibalizing itself? And let's not forget that the Mona Lisa's eyebrows had a vanishing act better than Houdini's. Whether it's the bizarre tale of Hawaiian pizza's true origins in Canada, or the revelation that polar bears are the masters of optical illusion, these stories show just how wonderfully weird our world can be. So next time you bite into a sandwich, slice through a loaf of bread, or gaze at a sunset, remember, there's always more than meets the eye. And if you ever feel like you've achieved something big, just think of the guy who holds the record for holding the most records. Keep dreaming big, stay curious, and remember, if a janitor can invent Flamin Hot Cheetos, what's stopping you from your next big idea? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss out on another fascinating fact. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear which fact you found the most interesting. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.